do I want to raise this? Because it's a very deep topic. Small business is a scam in the way that it's sold. But it is important for people that are unemployed, that are struggling, to start somewhere. You sold out. You sold out. I told you before we went on air that I'm going to expose you. For people that don't know, this guy is a sellout. You sold out.
I will blame you.
Hayi lutho baba. Ngahlangana namachitata isinyama yenhloko. Angazi noma iplate lali u50 rand or what ngababuze kuse ngidayisa ama plate angaki, and they gave me the number. Manje in their head they're not thinking I'm doing maths. Sinokushaya ama plate mhlawumbe 100 200. Malini plate? Inhloko wena ithola kumalini? Hayi inhloko eyi1 icosta this much. Irenti hayi half irenti la. Sacela ama time ukuthi sibeke inani. Do you have any costs? I know skibela nje ama taxi. But and I'm like, if you guys are making this much, I think the amount I got to per month was 180,000. Much it out 3. Those are the stories that South Africans need to hear. Our population is dying. And by dying, I mean mentally. Lento yama grant and unemployment and joblessness and ikele. I think Nabantu are starting to sing this song all the time. And we've lost innovation. And it's the reason we've lost Spazas shops. It's the reason why our taxi industry is not improving. You'd think that after 40, 50 years of the taxi industry and longer, la machida fethu ngabe sebe own ama speed train.
Back alive and kicking with my brother, whom I've met so much, and I'm glad we've lately been spending a bit of time together. PENUEL, the black pen. No, sorry, take your time. No, do it.
No, I'm kidding. How are you?
No, take it. Have a drink.
I'm blessed. Product yakhe.
I'm blessed. Mkhulu nkulunkulu. Mina nje ngibongela nje ukuphefumula. The rest is bonus.
No, thank you. How are you doing, Spuda?
I'm blessed, man. I'm really blessed, but as an entrepreneur, I'm frustrated.
Yeah.
And also interesting stuff that is out there in the news. Maybe we can start there on entrepreneurship, right? And black business. Maybe, I don't know if you've heard Pick and Pay closing down. I don't know how true that is. Cross-trainer stores shutting down.
Yeah.
Maybe we can speak a little bit about the liquidation of Drip and things that could have been done better, or my own take of thinking Lekau is a genius, and I'll explain why I think he's a genius. But yeah, we can start there.
You guys are going to collapse Lekau, man. You guys are actually going to collapse this. I don't know the company that owns, but there's the cross-trainer brand and it has stores. And it came out in the news this week that they're going into liquidation. They applied for business rescue. Abantu abangazi what business rescue is when your finances are not looking good. You can actually apply to be like, can someone please come in and assist us? To speak to abantu esibakweletayo and those things, to see how we can do things better and maybe get some breathing room. If they look at your finances and they feel like this business cannot be rescued, then they send you into, it could be voluntary if it's still good, or it could be forced if other creditors are coming at you hard, liquidation. And this comes on the back, obviously, on the back of Drip being pushed into liquidation as well. One of my better performing live videos on my channel, which I've rebranded, by the way. It was called the PENUEL channel. It was initially PENUEL, the black pen. Became the PENUEL channel, and I've just rebranded it now to PENUELism. I hope it's going to stay there. Maybe I'll rebrand at some point. One of my better performing videos was where I was trying to explain what liquidation is. I gave my views on what had happened with the Lekau story, especially after his wife, I'm not sure if ex-wife now, went on a platform with Madam Speaker, I think is the lady, that was hosting, telling her side of the story of what's happened at Drip, having to do with their child and maintenance. One of the episodes we did was where we were speaking about child maintenance and the responsibilities. And, you know, I just gave my views on many things. You know, Lekau has been in the media for a while. He's a huge success story himself and Uthio Baloy of Ipatu. They've inspired so many young black kids, so many South Africans with the work they've done. The Casper Nyovest 100 million deal that I spoke about, the Morocco Swallows deal, the branching off into Kids Republic, is it Finesse? I think they're fragrance,
Yeah.
and so many other things.
And Kids Republic, I think
Is it Kids Republic?
The one is Kids Republic.
Sure.
The one is Finesse. Yeah.
Sure. And many other businesses that were spin-offs.
We've actually sat down with both of them, ne?
Yeah.
You and I.
We've sat with both. We sat with Tulikau at Homegrown Farm.
Yeah, at the farm, yeah.
And then we sat with Theo Baloy at
In Rosebank.
In Rosebank, where we used to film.
Yeah.
At the boutique hotel there. People don't know how difficult business is. People speak about generational wealth as an example. So I'm not going to go into the details of the cross-train or the drip deals. The drip, I spoke about it. The cross-train, I'm not even sure about it. It was just in the news to be like, it's not just Otaki that are seeing their pumps. We speak about generational wealth, man. And, you know, we lost an icon, Mr. Raymond Ackerman, who gave us Pick and Pay. And he had already been struggling somewhat even while he was still alive, because the intense competition in retail is something that people do not understand. We see ShopRite, Checkers, we see Woolworths, we see Spar, but we don't really know how difficult the game is, because people think because I filled up a trolley, the business is doing well. And it's like a lot of these businesses are run on debt. They have to take out huge amounts of debt. Some of them have to deal with certain supplier deals. And then they have to deal with competition. Because if you were buying at Pick and Pay last month, and this month you're now buying at Checkers, Pick and Pay is losing money. If you were buying at Spar or Supermakers, you save or a Boxer, now you've moved to Woolies. That business is losing out on your money, and that becomes competition. In a country where unemployment keeps increasing, people keep getting retrenched, this cross-trainer story, this drip story, some of the Pick and Pay stores that are closing down now, those are going to be people that are not going to have disposable income. So they're going to have to try and see about Tenga Picross moving forward. Raymond Ackerman hands over a juggernaut of a conglomerate, Pick and Pay. With Pick and Pay, they had a brand called QualiSave to compete with USave. They have Boxer stores under their umbrella. I think there might be another store brand, I'm not sure. With Pick and Pay, they have Pick and Pay clothing. I think they have liquor. They've got pharmacies. They've partnered with BP Express. It's an iconic business. He handed over to his son, his family, who had been running the business. It's not Ingane's Groover overseas, says Joanna. They've been working. But because business is difficult, they realize we're seeing our bums. And they literally stepped back and they handed over the operations of the business to one of their father's trusted associates. And they were like, we're going to have to close some of the stores. Some of them are being rebranded into Boxers. Some of them are closing completely because business is tough. Drip saw itself losing stores, at some point closing. Cross-trainer as well. I think at some point at 70-something stores to 20-something stores. It's bad. We've had businesses come and go. Stutterfords, I think, is gone. People were asking the other day about Nkuku Box. I remember asking the question about brands like All Auction Culture, which still sell in certain places, but it's not what it used to be or what it could have been. May he rest in peace, Ukabazela. Pro Kid had Dankisani, and so many others that we've had. Business is business is hard. And we keep being told that small business is the solution. And a part of me feels, do I want to raise this? Because it's a very deep topic. Small business is a scam in the way that it's sold. But it is important for people that are unemployed, that are struggling, to start somewhere. And you sold out. You sold out. I told you before we went on air that I'm going to expose you. For people that don't know, this guy is a sellout. You sold out. When the Hustlers Corner started, my understanding and everyone's understanding was this was going to be a platform to put up and coming hustlers and entrepreneurs to give them a spotlight. Because you and I have spoken before about how expensive it is to advertise on radio, mainstream TV, magazines. And you're like, Musbuda, I'm on YouTube. On Saturdays, on Twitter, I give small businesses shout-outs. I'm going to set up a YouTube channel, and true to form, guys like Olikau won the Hustlers Corner before they popped. Guys like Theo Baloy before they popped, and so many others. And then nahlangana no Black Pen, na discuss politiki, nabiza ama celebrity, nabiza all types of people, nkhuluma no Joshua Maponga. And it's like, but Spuda, this was meant to be a hustler's corner. And I posted one of the weeks on X that we need, I was going to call it a jobless podcast for everyone who is Spani, for everyone who's struggling, to bring on young where possible, but even old people who are going to come and tell their story of I had nothing. Like Olikau, bengihlala emkhukhwini, bengihlala kwi-back room, bengihlala ne-old lady, I had nothing, bengenaspani, I was retrenched or I never had work. Bengithola 370, I think is the SRD grant now. All these things, and then ngaqala business lam kanje. We don't want to know that you're a trip and you're all over Joburg. No. We want to know ukuthi njengamanje njayami, I'm making 2,000 rand a month. Njengamanje I'm making 5,000 rand a month. Ama weeks ami ngwastalker la. No, icathulo ngilanda la and then ngishaya ngebrand no ntwana sinamajita zavusa igazebo sahamba sayocela kwi society ye oledi sahlanganisa imali savusa igazebo sathenga amabhakede savula icar wash. And then umjita wacela impintshi yakhe ukuthi kusesiboleka ispeaker. Njengamanje, hey, to be honest, Pincham, I think it's kind of about 500 or whatever the case may be. Musam Selegu's got an amazing video on YouTube speaking about how he made his first million. Ngokudayisa ama plate Kaula, my taxi rank. So you sold out, and I think we need this back. And yeah, my last point, man, is shout out to Ubapusha. You know, you've had her on the platform as well. She's been one of the people, and I wish you could have a bigger spotlight to be like, guys, if you don't have money, because she's also a graduate of the DJ Spoo School of Hustling. To be like, Spoo, you inspired us to hustle, no matter what. If there's online, if there's Forex, if there's crypto, if there's beverage, if there's sneakers, if gonke, podcast, radio, online radio, TV, stratini, siyakhuluma leadership 20, whatever it is, siyabangena, siyapressa, siyapusha, siyaphanda, sama vandal. So shout out to Ubapusha, man. And I think more than anything now, especially with entrepreneurship, we desperately need more podcasts and platforms where people are going to come and talk about just making 50 rand, 100 rand to feed themselves.
Thank you, bro. And it's good to have you back.
Thank you for calling you a sellout.
I can never be a sellout, man. I know a lot of people throw around that name quite a lot. And I understand it, and I'm used to taking knocks and punches. Maybe let's start with the current radio show that I have. It's a different environment. I'm new on Radio 2000. I found an already existing successful show on a successful station that is currently the fastest growing platform, radio station in the country. We're on 2 million listeners. And my role model, Glenn Lewis, made a decision last minute, I think 2 or 3 weeks before the exchange of the radio season earlier this year, 2024. And last minute, I was approached, to come and fill in his shoes.
Sure.
And, I usually don't do deals that quick. And also radio stations don't usually approach jocks to come on board a month before, or 3 weeks before, right? They'll do it the year before, maybe 8 months before, 9 months or a year before. Just like DJ Fresh, who came and we interviewed him, the big homie, confirmed that he's back on radio next year.
That's too dope.
Yeah, so his deal is already done. And for something that's going to start next year, April, right? So they usually take that long, most radio stations. So I was approached last minute. So when I came in, I also inherited a show that was already doing well. And, the brief is, don't fix what is not broken.
Yeah.
But yes, bring in your own individuality and your own ideas.
Sure.
And I think we've been doing really well with the guys, because for me, the major challenge in the beginning is to start to gel with the people. I had my own ideas of what I would like to do whenever I would get given an opportunity to go back on radio, the type of a radio show that I'd like to have. But with these conditions that I've just mentioned, my going back to radio wasn't in a manner in which I would have loved to have executed. But then again, uNkulunkulu njalo, when he gives you blessings, aza ngendlela yakhe, not wena ngendlela ofuna ngayo, But how you make it work is to make sure that you are tight with the team that is there.
Sure.
Ukuthi nijwayelane, nazane, nihloniphane, nokuthi nisebenze ngenhlonipho. For you to then kancane start introducing some of your ideas and things that you would like to achieve, right? Which is radio. Big impact, instant feedback, national radio, speaking to the whole country. And the little time that I've been there, for about 5 months or so, we've got a little feature And that feature is done by most radio stations and most radio jocks in the entrepreneurship space, where they give entrepreneurs just an opportunity to plug their businesses on air.
Yeah.
So I was fired at the SABC many years back because I didn't have the airtime to speak about this. And any little thing you can ever say about your business is wrong.
Yeah.
Right? And I did whatever I did. And I'm just blessed to have had the opportunity again to come back. And I also tread carefully now. I'm older, I'm wiser, I move maturely, and I move different.
Yeah.
The little feature that we've had it for, I've been on that radio show for like 5 months. It's so amazing the amount of feedback that we're getting. It's called the Small Business Plug.
Yeah.
Something similar to what I used to do on weekends, retweeting small businesses,
Sure.
which was incredible. And I've seen another one, I think something called Small Business Matters. I'm seeing it on Twitter, on X, from time to time. I don't know who started it. It's doing really well. Big up to you guys for thinking about small businesses. So we've been getting a lot of good, positive feedback stories.
Yeah.
From businesses that take advantage of that 1 minute of advertising on Radio 2000. A lot of them are coming back with very positive and great stories. So what you're saying really, really matters.
Sure.
Because if all of us, especially in the podcasting space, focus more in that space, will make a huge difference. You were bigging me up the other day for having invited Sakile Mkambi.
Sure.
An incredible entrepreneur as well, who's also selfless, empowers a lot of entrepreneurs with knowledge and education in this entrepreneurship space. So I totally agree with you. One, when they started the Hustlers Corner, that's what it was about, entirely, completely, 100%. But yes, Nami, when I do give advice to people, is that start.
Yeah.
And you learn a lot of things as you go. And as I've had to learn this YouTube algorithm and figuring out how to grow a platform, and also being a person who's not only in entrepreneurship, who does all these different things, and who's got relationships in all these different aspects of life, and also who's starting to get interested in other things that I was not interested in because I also personally grow.
Yeah.
That sort of somehow manifests itself in the decision that you take on, the type of content that you create, what you put out
pivoting.
there. Yeah.
Pivoting is just a part of life.
And also, I will blame you.
Hayi lutho baba.
Yini
azosifaka.
I'll blame you in a positive way.
Sure.
For I never thought I'd meet you. I didn't know you when I started this podcast.
Yeah.
As it went along, we rubbed shoulders, we became brothers, and we did incredible work together.
Sure.
Why will I blame you? I'll blame you for the inspiration that you started pouring onto me, right? The type of person that you were, and I was seeing you every week. And I was learning so much from you as well. I was telling you the other day that you are actually the person that also inspired me to just start picking up my phone and recording videos.
Sure.
And just out of that on its own, it's been maybe a year and a half or maybe 2 years since I've been doing that. That has literally tripled my own personal YouTube platform.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just a platform I was neglecting. It was just there. I would just post videos whenever I can, once in a while, because I'm thinking I must only post videos of good quality.
Sure.
I'm DJ Smooth. That's
Sure.
what I always thought. But some of those little things that I learned from you. And as we keep on talking, we're educating, inspiring our audiences. You were inspiring me. I was learning from you. And that also influenced some of the lot of the decisions that I've taken in growing the platform. With that being said, for now, maybe I'll park it here. But I do agree with you. The fact that one did, I wouldn't call it abandoning, but yeah, it does need a more focus, that entrepreneurship space, but also the vision and the goal, as you would know, with the Hustlers Corner, was eventually to turn it onto a podcast network.
Yeah.
And that has always been my plan. It's always been at the back of my mind. At some point, I'm going to then have these different podcasts that I'd like to have. And being an entrepreneur myself, I obviously love that.
Sure.
At some point, I don't know, it's something that's going to happen with us together, whether my platform, your platform, on a new platform, a different platform, or whether it's things that we continuously are going to do ourselves individually in our own spaces. But I love your passion for empowering people, teaching, educating, inspiring, all of that stuff. I think that's why you and I clicked, because I'm also like that. So, let's go back to that, because I can see how much impact it's having on the radio show. I saw how much impact it was having on the Saturday retweets of the hashtag DJ Smooth.
Sure.
I saw how much impact it has had on a lot of the businesses that we featured on the Hustlers Corner when we were intentional about empowering or uplifting that entrepreneurship space.
Yeah.
And the smaller guys. And maybe just then my parting shot would be, That's why I'm not a sophisticated person, even when I do talk about business and entrepreneurship. I simplify it, and people sometimes think,
Sure.
when I put on my Mofa overalls and I go sell this thing for 10 Rand. For people that the content speaks to, they understand what I'm doing.
Sure.
And they understand that I'm simplifying business to a simple trading.
Yeah.
10 Rand, here's your can, I'm out.
Sure.
But for you to get that 10 Rand, the bargaining that happens, the communication that happens, the sales pitch that happens, the things that I do myself, because I get to be on video myself. I just did one video now.
Sure.
I was selling Mofa in Bloemfontein. I was invited at an incredible conference where I spoke on stage. And I was illustrating the importance of sales and closing.
Yeah.
And that's actually what business is all about,
Yeah.
sales. And I had my Mofire there. And after my talk, sadly, I didn't get enough chance to continue selling. But the rest of the remaining stock, and I sold, just after my talk, maybe 10 minutes,
Sure.
I sold half of the stock, and I had gone to buy 10 cases at TFS Wholesalers in Bloemfontein. Thank you so much, guys. From back in the day, we've been growing. Our relationship has been going incredibly well, and I'm speaking to the owners of TFS Wholesalers who took on more fire. I went to the streets at a street called Small Street in Bloemfontein, Mangaung, Kotropong, in
Sure.
town. Sold out everything. Sold out within 30 minutes.
Sure.
The video is up on YouTube. It's actually recorded live.
Sure.
So go check it out. My last week video on YouTube, me selling in Bloemfontein. I do that intentionally.
Yeah.
I've got multiple of those, maybe almost 100 of videos of me selling in the street, because that is what basic entrepreneurship 101 is.
Sure.
It involves, as I was saying, communication skills, sales pitch, closing. It involves PR, promotions. It involves marketing, branding. It involves all these different things that other sophisticated topics or conversations about scaling up a business, human resources, and all these other things,
Sure.
I don't really focus on, because a lot of people do focus on that, business teachers or business coaches.
Yeah.
I mean, I focus on the most integral part of any business, which is sales.
Sales.
And I do it live with them being my witnesses and me selling a 10 Rand product, because if you can acquire that skill, that's the skill you need
Sure.
to become a multi-millionaire, or even one day to sit in a boardroom and sell your business for R1 billion. It's the exact same skill.
I'll on another platform on another day, I'm going to unpack why I believe small business is a scam. It's a very deep conversation, and I also need to organize myself. A lot of people are still not getting it, and it's okay. Over time, hopefully more. Everyone is trying to podcast. Everyone is trying to set up a studio and have nice lights and nice cameras. Start. Not enough kids are starting just with their phone. I had the privilege of sitting with a lady called Spazas. She's very big on, she doesn't believe in feminism. She's very big on female accountability. She's become very popular on TikTok mostly. And she also just in her room, just the phone, just chatting on her phone. We need more people with voices, with ideas, no matter how crazy they are. If your ideas, maybe people haven't heard them, just make a video, because there's other people like you. If maybe you've heard something somewhere and you just want to repeat, there's nothing wrong with that. Not everyone is following famous American content creators or British American content creators. Not everyone is following them. But some people will follow you because it's going to be the first time they hear this thing. Because they don't watch Stephen Bartlett or Chris Williamson or Joe Rogan. They're like, ubani manje loyo? Awumazi uJoe Rogan? Ntwana uba lo uSbuda. I'm like, okay. Sbu, Joe Rogan said this. Please go tell people on your platform, because this is important. So people must do that. With the phone and with the passion for small business, one of the other things I've tried to do, and I don't know what it is about me. Mhlampe, this is why I'll never become rich. You know, I've got these habits.
You already are. with just the PENUEL show alone, in the next 10 years, that's a multi-billion-dollar business.
So there are.
And by the way, guys, that's what these podcasts are. Eh? Treat them as business. Yeah, they're business. And you know, these are businesses, guys. Sorry about that, bro. Sorry.
No, it's fine, because now I want to speak about rich habits and poor habits. But if we get a chance, and I remember and you remember, I want to speak about rich habits and poor habits for the hustlers to know.
Okay.
All the so-called big podcasters now are trying to land big deals. It's a beautiful thing. We're trying to monetize. We're trying to get the brands to be more understanding and friendly towards alternative platforms so kids can eat on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram. I have a problem with the brands because they still haven't changed their mindsets. And that's part of the issue I have. Upizu uyayithela lapho kumele uthole ibhib. Iyavuza, I think.
Anyway, sorry, yeah.
I don't know if you want to open the cap.
Yeah, maybe I think.
Yeah,
sure.
rather open the cap, sorry.
By the way, let me plug them. Black Earth Cafe, they're out in Newtown, at the Newtown precinct opposite McDonald's and Capello at AMPD Studios, the coffee shop. Black Earth Cafe.
Earth.
Black Earth, right? Yeah, Black Earth. The black is with a Q. Black Earth, yeah.
Dope. I've got an issue with the brands because these guys still don't want to change their mindset. And until they change their mindsets, because someone has to take the risk. Someone needs to start the YFM. Someone needs to start the Netflix. Someone needs to take a risk on Dave Chappelle and Joe Rogan on Spotify. A lot of these brands are scared for obvious reasons. Some of it is legacy. I need to give a shout out to Castle Milk Stout because they've had you and I on Black Conversations. That now is a test of alternative type of content. But there are conditions, the things you need to sign, the things you need to go through. It's a job interview and there's legal jargon. It's a beautiful thing. I endorse it. It must carry on happening. We need more brands to come in and to experiment in various ways. What I'm doing for myself, and this I'm hoping is going to be added to when they do an MBA course on podcasting and the things we've done. Part of it is going to be pick up your phone and how many people make money just from making vlogs on their phone. The next one is going to be getting small businesses to advertise. Because one of the things I want to do when I create the Jobless podcast show, or if we have segments on the Hustlers Corner, I want the small businesses to pay. They can either pay 50 Rand, they can pay in free stock, a free t-shirt. They can pay by saying, I don't have money, I don't have stock, but I'm going to send this episode to as many people as possible, or I'm going to come and volunteer. But there must be an exchange of value. Lento ukuthi so guy exposure and those things, or machitas vuseni. People need to understand that everything has a cost. It's not going to be radio, TV type costs, but it's going to be for you to be like, upen ngam guy to clipper, to come onto the podcast and promote my business. So naye mele ngithathe serious ngoba ngimgayi inyuku. Akangenzeli favor. Ngimgayi inyuku, naye must offer a professional service. So what I've done on my platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, I charge people 500 Rand per post. There's no contract, there's no nothing. 5 clipper, I get recurring business, I get other people to just be like, I post, oh, here's a short video, I put it on my stories, I put it on my LinkedIn, I what. And then after, if it's a story, within 24 hours, I take a screenshot of the analytics to send to them. If it's a post on a Facebook feed, on an Instagram feed, there's insights. I click on the insights, I take a screenshot, I send it to them. So that as small as the business is, you also start understanding those small things. Like there's reach. Antwana, but I'm a sales now. Like it doesn't work on sales. I know sale is the ultimate to what you were saying. But if you see an advert on TV, yeah, Omo, it's not necessarily the sale, it's the reach that you're paying for. And then later on with the marketing gurus, they'll see brand awareness and how that converts into sales. But you want the brand awareness. What is Drip? What is Ipatu? What is Ivaya? What is... So you come here for that. And it's also not going to be once off. Umuntu ka uzofika kwi-podcast, akhulume kayi-1, and then abe a millionaire. It's not going to work like that. So either you're going to come back to the podcast regularly, or you go to many other podcasts. Or even if uhlala noSbuda once, ukhulume ngebrand yakho, iBlack Earth. Take those clips. Now iba innovative. Take those small clips and post them every week. Add something else. Ngikhumbula ngihleli noSbuda, sikhuluma, go to Sbu's most trending episode, take a clip from that episode and then link it to a clip from the episode where Shano Sbuda. Sbuda was sitting with Joshua Maponga. Kodwa nami ngeke ngahlala noSbuda ngiphusha ibrand ya. Just be innovative because you paid that 2 clipper, 5 clipper. Waka uSbuda mhlampe a case of your whatever drink you have, or you gave him sneakers and you're like, I'm gonna maximize this thing as far as I can. But in that, we're learning marketing. It's low entry. And when I do Jobless, one of the things I want to do is I want to minimize the chat. I don't want us to speak for an hour and a half. Number one, you have to go and do your business. The other thing You have to go run your business. The other thing I'm considering is maybe not even in a studio, as much as people like studios. Some of lamachita, we're going to have to roam around. Kuphi business lakho, shama kota kule ndawo, soza lapha ngeke disturb business. I sit outside, you get someone who's run amakota akho sihlala ngaphandle phezu kwama crate, sibeka icamera sikhulume kuse ukhanda malini la, ushaya inani nani. Some of my most trending I wanted to just speak about that thing of entrepreneurs just like us. Some of us couldn't get on mainstream TV and radio. So we went alternative. So similarly with the marketing, you may not have imali trip to be on all the billboards, but maybe there's a podcast that shot 2,000 views. That's a lot of mileage. And leo podcast ibuwa abantu bekas lakho, or the type of customers you want. Be willing to lose 5 clip 1,000 rand. That 1,000 rand, you're going to get 5 clients that are going to pay that back. But now it's going to carry on. We can't all wait for 50,000 from a brand, 100,000, 200,000 from a brand, especially when you're still starting. So that's one of the things I'm trying to offer. Some of my most trending posts have been la a plane, a Tunusa, Oshama la, labadayisa khona second-hand clothes la ngase Wanderers.
Yeah.
I think bayibiza ngeDunusa. There's these, I don't know if they're foreigners or they're South Africans, but it's bales of clothing. Bahamba yothenga ama-bale, some in Kempton Park, others I'm not sure where they get them. I-bale uyithenga for a certain amount. I think Obapush have spoken about these things on their platforms. Bavuli bale badayise and they make money. I've gone there before. I've made just mental calculations of how much leikipa and ama jacket are, and I look at each bale. Would know if each bale can mhlambe 5,000, 10,000. Uyaqala uyabala ama-bale and the shoes. And you see that every day here, just on that street, Lapangase Wanderers, a town, these guys could easily be turning over 100,000. This is not a mall, this is not a formal business, but it's a business. Some people go and buy a bale or they buy those things, so that people can buy. I've posted a post, there's a picture where I take it and I call it a Tunusa or a Koshama. And that trended on Facebook a couple of years ago now. Another post that trended is I took a selfie, Koni Timer elalpage a Hilbro, with the spinach in the back of his buggy. Wangitshela every day we have figures of dicey spinach. I don't know if it was 5 rand a bunch. I think he was making something like 2,000 rand. Every day, my figure big spinach, but figure about 10. I'm like, when you do the maths, 2,000 times 5 days is 10,000. This guy is making 40,000 a week. I mean a month, sorry. 40,000. It's probably tax-free. We are pusha. He can scale. These are the stories that people want to hear. And the one that I think has trended the most, and this is why I like to Musamselegu's story on Amaplate. Bengise Newcastle at the taxi rank. Ngahlangana namachitata isinyama yenhloko. Angazi noma iplate lalu 50 rand or what ngababuza kuse ngidayisa amaplate angaki, and they gave me the number. Manje in their head they're not thinking I'm doing maths. Sinokushaya amaplate mhlawumbe 100 200. Malini plate inhloko wena ithola kumalini hayi inhloko eyi1 costa this much. Irenti hayi half irent la. Sacela ama time ukuthi sibeke inani. Do you have any costs? I know skibela nje ama taxi. But and I'm like, if you guys are making this much, I think the amount I got to per month was 180,000. Much it out 3. Those are the stories that South Africans need to hear. Not 180,000. Don't think about that. Think of 10,000 a month. Upushi plate. And wear and ganjan. And those guys, I'm thinking, samba nama phone, samba nama camera, nama stands, mhlambe ngama lapel mic. Like say business how much do you make? We do the maths for them. Then even in there we give 5-minute mentorship. Nya investor. Do you guys buy in none? Have you thought of scaling? Have you thought of this and that? Siyabonga bafethu abantu abafuna ukuhlangana nani, how do they contact you if people want to supply you? Because the other thing when you meet small businesses that other people don't think about is, I see more fire, I see a product. How do I link with this product? You've seen it go Mastiers and those things where they'll promote a certain energy drink with the meal. You're like, no, ngishayi catering. So already pushing more fire. That's free marketing. Mina ngishayi catering, it's like say, for every plate, ihamba ne more fire. Yabole more fire sbuda. So that people are like, no, mina nginokudla le plate, elhamba ne more fire. I get free marketing from Usbuda. Manje I'm saying ngiyayifaka. Every time Usbuda advertises more fire, now I'm saying it's ngakhohlwa ne plate la penzo. More fire plus plate la penzo is a full meal. And now you're winning. So we need to innovate because our country, our population is dying. And by dying, I mean mentally. Lento yama grant and unemployment and joblessness and ikele. I think Nabantu are starting to sing this song all the time. And we've lost innovation. And it's the reason we've lost Spaza shops. It's the reason why our taxi industry is not improving. You'd think that after 40, 50 years of the taxi industry and longer, lamachida fethu ngabe sebe own ama speed train. Banama panoi. Like, somewhere we get stuck. And I'm not sure what it is. But we need kids to enter. And then we need everyone else to come in and supplement. And it cannot be that you only plate when you go and you become an engineer and that's the end of that business. So wahamba wayofunda for what? For yourself. We kwakumele fethu ukuthi say already le business lakho solvusa. It's going to be like busy corner. If you've ever heard the story of busy corner or Max and so many of these other stories, you want to hear a story of, oh no, we're in logistics. Snama truck awu 50. Kanjani? Afethi time afethi lasifundisa ngama taxi awu 2. Ngayitshela ukuthi mina mfethu ngizama ngiyosigeleza ngenze sure ukuthi ayiscale lento le. So saba nama taxi awu 30, from there we diversified, saba nama bus awu 3. From there I got some of my business partners, we started couriering goods and transport for staff. And then from there I went to get into contracts to do logistics. And you're like, that's the story. But it's from me time. But for at least the podcast I want to create and for the story that I'm saying, I want to win meaty time. Elzo should saying the taxi one. Waqala kanjani? Ngangwasha ama taxi la 70 rand the taxi yodwa. Bengishaya 10 per day, that's 700 rand. Ngisaving you ekhaya it's 10 kilometers away. Manje mangigibela itaxi bengibona 15 rand, 30 rand return. So ngathi no ngizoyishaya ngeenyawo. So then ngaqala ngajoga. Yabo njengamanje bengiqeda kushaya comrades. Ngoba bengingazi ngiyajima kuyedladleni ngijima kuzoshaya ama taxi. Ngayithekela ama taxi ami sengishaya comrades and now ama taxi ama 5. And you're like, those are the stories we want.
I totally agree. Those are the stories we want, and I've been under that sentiment for many years, that we complicated and talk about millions and funding and starting big things. That's why I would go and sell in the streets. The example that I was making to you earlier, that I went out and sold for less than 30 minutes, I made 1,000 rands. Actually, I made 1.2 around there. I'm actually going to go back to that video, download it, and I'll edit it nicely, and I'll post it again. I made a 1,002 or so in less than 30 minutes. I know I always get that. People are like, yeah, but you're a DJ smooth.
Sure.
People buy because they're excited to see you. That's not true. Yes, partly it's true.
Sure.
Of course, people get excited, smoother, and they'll buy because, yeah. But I've always sold even before I was famous.
Yeah.
And I used to sell out.
Sure.
Selling is about being intentional, and it's your attitude and how you treat your clients.
Yeah.
And it's all about retail sales, about repeat sales. It's about looking after that customer so they come back to buy again. So when he's making an example about Abu Mama Bating Samarenkeni, they easily make 2, 3, 4, 5 grand a day.
Yeah.
And they're not there the whole day.
Yeah.
They are there from the morning up until qala kungasibhizi abantu sebayile emsebenzini because they start in the morning.
Sure.
Abanye bayabuya ntambama nakuzoba busy futhi erenkini.
Sure.
But they're not there for the whole day. The problem is that you guys underestimate the little monies that come in, because remember also, business is not all about the money that you actually make, but it's about your relationship with the money. And it's about you being disciplined enough to build a good balance sheet with your bank, so you are able to then qualify for those overdrafts or for that quality credit that you can turn into good credit. So then you can continue scaling up or growing or doubling up your money using the bank's money, because you've been disciplined, you've been very good, at least you've got some sort of a cash flow.
Yeah.
So if you are selling a plate, or you are selling a mofa, you are selling iqogo, you are selling impahla mhlambe zama second hand,
Sure.
you are selling amathumbu, inyama, you've got some sort of cash flow that is coming in.
Yeah.
Even if that cash flow, about 100 rand, about 20 rand, about 50 rand, that make up at least about 1,000 or 800 rands a day. The bank gets to see your behavior over a certain period, and that
Sure.
minimum period that they gauge you on is 6 months.
Sure.
And once you are able to do that consistently, you'll be disciplined enough, the bank is going to come and offer you money, offer you credit. And then that's how you get to even grow even more, by using the bank's money, but by having a good financial behavior or relationship with money. So I do know also that a lot of entrepreneurs, you'll find and you're like, what? Why is this person not getting out of the street? Like, they've been selling here for like 7 years. And they are making money.
Yeah.
It's because they don't have the discipline when it comes to financial behavior.
Or the knowledge.
Or the knowledge
Yeah.
of how to grow this money, right? So my advice and my message out there is, sometimes I know it's not necessarily inkinga ukwenza imali, kodwa inkinga ukuyikhulisa le mali.
Yes.
And that's when the financial education comes in. So as entrepreneurs out there, it's extremely important for us to go and acquire that knowledge. I know, because I was one of those people. I was talented.
Sure.
I'm in the entertainment industry. I'm gigging every weekend. But although I'd make a lot of money, years later you look back and like, but I don't have a lot to show for it.
Yeah.
Why? Because ugcina soyijwayele ukuthi ihlaliza.
Sure.
And your expenditure and just your behavior and how you spend money and all of those things are unhealthy for your growth. And that goes out to not only entrepreneurs, just the abantu abamnyama, that knowledge that we've had. Ukuthi money is the root of all evil. We're not used to money. Imali akusumngani wethu. And all of those little behaviors culminate into you as an adult. Noma usuyithola imali, ingakho bathi umuntu wine 10 million, noma umuntu wine 100 million kulotho in less than 3 years. Ayisekho leyo mali. It's not because of imali, it's because of behavior yethu ne relationship nemali.
Another few plugs. I'm glad you mentioned the bank thing, because those are some of the things that are really holding us back. And I don't know if it's apartheid or our bad schooling. The bank is supposed to be your friend. You're supposed to go to the bank and get to know everyone there. I want to meet the manager. But I'm going to actually be very rich one day. And I want you guys to open all the avenues for me that are available. I want to get a business credit card. I want to get a business card. Teach me. No, but tell me what I need. And then you must have the discipline to go and get those things. In the absence of raising money through banks, 2 plugs that some entrepreneurs use is, number 1, joining a Stokvels. Konale Stokvels, where you contribute every month, and then on 1 month you get a big lump sum, which I think you're supposed to pay back later, whatever the case may be. Rotator. So that becomes almost like a bank, because you've proven to Ama Olate or whoever you were there that 1,000 rand or that 500 rand. So when it's your month or your birthday month, however it works, bazo guy that 5,000. In that month, that's when you go and buy a lot of stock, hopefully at a discount. So that's almost like a bank. And we still haven't mastered, and I've been passionate about this for over a decade now, we still haven't mastered how to use Stokvels the way they're supposed to be used. Banker for the Poor, Professor Mohammed Yunus, for anyone who's a fan of reading. The book is called Banker for the Poor. He won a Nobel Prize for helping people use microcredit to build businesses in Bangladesh. The Grameen Bank is worth billions of dollars today. Ehambe tolo mama that are in business. Just like we have mama daisayo, abatungayo, abashai catering. Professor Mohammed Yunus went and built a business around labo mama, giving them small amounts of money. And it's just that trusting. So use Stokvels, and we as Fundile, we need to mastermind Stokvels into creating something better. I know Stokvela, Yatepo Molloy, has tried to create a transparent platform. I know Leander Jafta, they've created the People's Fund to try and work around that and give people with purchase orders in Yugu. I know Olebu, Mulife, Sileboho, Mulife have tried to create platforms for those type of things, but I know we can scale it much more than that. The other plug, and this one normally involves Indians. If not Indians, then what we call undocumented foreigners. But it works. It's business. At the end of the day, we can discuss the politics and the compliance and those things later. Instead of Stokvela, every extra bit of profit you give to your supplier every month to build trust, just like a bank, so that they can give you product on credit. They start giving you extra product because by October. And come certain months, they'll be like, look, we got stock. Here's a discount. No, my friend, you can get extra this for free from me. It's just a gift because you're such a good customer. Because you're making money for this person. And if they understand, they know that just like what you're saying about repeat clients, you are their repeat client. So they'll offer some of those things. And they'll start even, depending on what business you're in, they'll start even referring business to you. I've got a friend who does this. Can you supply him? You're like, sure. It's like, good shot. So if it's not going to be Stokvel as an example, Nakwana, join them if you can. But also look into having a relationship with your supplier, whoever they are, and take some of your profits. And you're like, no, I'm not buying. I just want you to hold this money for me. Because we are as a kandalako what you're doing. Number one, you're saving money, which is important. When they look in any bad month, you can go and get stock for that money you've given them. Number two, you're building trust. And I promise you, without saying anything, that supplier at some point is going to give you free stock. He's going to give you discounted stock. And he's maybe going to actually even start giving you secrets in some of the business that you're in, purely because you are like, some of the problems we have as Odak is this consumer mindset. Because Stokvel, we use them for a festive that's coming. A lot of our mothers are giving money to Abdul nor Mohammed at the Spazas shops or at the cash and carries every month. Come end of the year, they go and they collect impupu, rice, cooking oil, and all these things from the money they've been saving. Depending on who they get the stuff from, maybe they'll be pansela, maybe. But what these guys do during the year, by the way, is they invest your money and they rotate your mom's money every month. So that by the time your mom and her friends come to collect the stock at the end of the year, these are things that we could be doing in various ways. If we can find ways for hustlers, and we're still not having community chats that we should be having, podcasting, advertising on social media, sitting with amatime that have been in business, we're meant to be going to churches, sitting with umfundis and being like, can we have an entrepreneurship fund kule sonto? And then every Sunday after isonto sibe nemarket la ngaphandle, omama bafike bathenge their things. Sidayise things ingane zihambe zemakhaya abangafuni ukupheka i7 colors. So bashayela i7 colors la after church with this little entrepreneur fund, and then Tina, the profits we make will put back into the church to grow the church. Do the same thing with the Stokvels. Your mom's in a Stokvel. Hey, my mom, hey, mama in a society. Have you ever asked questions about how much they have, where they put it? What are they doing with that money? Because you're telling me in a DM, hey, Pen, I just need 5,000 if you and Sbu can what. Like say, abazali, anolkoni oledi, liutish, is she in a Stokvel? Hey, what's ngani? Have you ever tried pitching to your mom's Stokvel? For the 5 score, from a bar of soap. You have access to money, but you haven't proven to those people that you deserve that money. So figure out, and we speak Dragon's Den, Shark Tank. It would be nice if we were to have innovative shows, not just a podcast where we call leaders of Stokvels to sit as a panel. And you want to come in and they pitch. Ngidinga 10,000 mama bahlale bathi hayi mina mfana mangiyizwa le business yakho lisebenza kanjani. Okay, ngizopledge you 2,000 from our Stokvel kushawa izandla. And you're like, mama deciding where to invest their money, and they're investing. Same with church funds. The churches every now and then are like, we're inviting all the congregants. We've got business pitching. We're going to take some money from the church. Some of the business people in the church are also going to donate, and you can pitch to the church and we'll fund your businesses. Like, these things are here, but we're not using them because our brains are stuck in a grant, begging, getting a job somewhere, 9 to 5 ngeshed. And even the businesses we want, we're chasing businesses there when we should be pushing here where we can.
A lot of you guys have got a podcast that are growing like crazy, which is awesome. And a lot of you are dedicated. You're committed in, growing those platforms. A lot of you guys get multiple viral videos on TikTok. Some of you guys are now on over 50,000 followers on TikTok. Some of you are on over 100,000 subscribers on TikTok. Some of your videos go for over 100,000 views per video. And some of you, a few of you, have got videos that go over 1 million views on a video. Doesn't matter whatever it is that you're doing that you're good at in creating that content. Some of you are comedians, Abomavusana Vo, from Mkukwini, just doing videos. Videos get traction. Some of you guys do those dating, whatever, in the street, and those videos get big traction.
Sure.
Why don't you start your own affiliate program where you go to your own local businesses and say, I'm a TikToker or I'm a social media influencer? You don't have to wait for brands to invite you and give you money to advertise these big companies. No, you can do the work by saying, sanibonani ninjani ma ngikhulelela kule pushari support la ngingane kabanibani. Ngiyacabanga ukuthi isitolo senu can do even much better because you guys have been around for quite some time. If nginifeature kuma TikTok videos wami, these are some of my views. These are some of the views that I get on a daily basis or on a monthly basis. So mina into engizoyenza ukuthi let's find a way ukuthi nina nanithola ama-customer that are going to come through my platforms ninginikeza i-commission nyana ethile. They do it all over the world on social media, on YouTube, overseas guys. They call it an affiliate program. Create your own affiliate program where you go to local businesses, doesn't matter whatever they're selling, and saying, let's find a way so you guys track the sales that you'll be getting through my platforms. And then wena-ke umusu uyenza content creation yakho, incorporate that business into your videos and saying, you do a video that has to do with, let's say maybe you did an affiliate with a sneaker cleaning hustle or store in your hood, and then you tell them, let's screen these videos let's screen these clients that are going to come through my videos. And when I know you create a little content, you create content around that sneaker. You do not appear as if you are selling, obviously, but when now you know what you indirectly are selling. And then at the end of that video you can say, oh, by the way guys, Mina, if I were to use any sneaker cleaning platform, I'd go to such and such a place because they clean my sneakers ice white. This is at the end of your video. Maybe the content was great or whatever. Anyone that just might be interested where I clean my sneakers. Don't appear as if you are selling, obviously. But you can just say, anyone that might just be interested, if you're around the Gauteng or you're around the Soweto or you're around Kopitori, you're around in Durban, click the link in the description of this video. It's going to, and when you get to that store, tell them, I sent you. They're definitely going to give you a discount of 20%. You know what I mean? Those are some of the ideas. Local businesses, form a relationship with them, bring them online onto your platforms. Know good, at least I've got a data of about 30 businesses or 20 businesses, as I say, Kaslami, that I usually, when I create my content, I incorporate them in my content. And out of those videos, when they start getting those thousands of views, hundreds of thousands of views, there will be 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 customers or people who might be interested to click on that link to go get their sneakers cleaned, to go get whatever it is that you might be indirectly selling on your videos. And then every time when those people get customers, you get your share of the finance.
No, it's so dope. I saw Chicken Licken's got a new special. It's called Stumo. This is not even a paid ad. Chicken Licken now on Free Wings. Stumo, registered trademark. And for people that don't know, George Sombonos, the founder of Chicken Licken, he's passed on, unfortunately. May he rest in peace. I think his daughter's running the business now. I met her in 2012 when I was running my fish and chip shop because their head office is here at Boysons or somewhere. They were one of the first, if not the first, business to incorporate advertising in TV shows. With Joe Mafela, may he rest in peace, the legend. I bumped into him with my kids a couple of years ago outside the SAPC. Joe Mafela, who's nice, who's Dumo, where they'd incorporate Chicken Licken into the show to a point where sometimes kona labelwa kona no kundi no FK uthi khona ifela uStumo no FK badli iland badli inkukhu bamncintsha ukundi and ukundi is like ikhona ifela kuthiwa hamba ocela ushabalala. We really need to innovate, and I appreciate what you're saying, and I think if you can incorporate small things, man, a more fire, maybe a certain drink every time you do a comedy skit, make sure ukuthi oleti mhlambe la liphusha khona amakota, you feature ikota at the end or at the beginning before dance, mhlambe lumi ikota la kabanibani with the background. And if she can't give you money, maybe she gives you free kotas every week, or she gives you a voucher to give people, so that when people come with the vouchers, she's like, hey, lama voucher asebenza ngempela. And then you see how you can make that a monetized relationship. The other thing I've started doing a few months ago, and then maybe this is for me and you, I've started inviting entrepreneurs to pay for production costs to come on a podcast for me. We come, we discuss your business for an hour. Maybe we speak about More Fire, where it started, who you are. And again, in that hour, as much as it's a podcast and maybe it will get 7,000 views. Some of the most serious videos, by the way, don't get high views. And no one should be worried about that. It's not about getting 200,000 views. The 7,000 views, they are your customers there. 200 customers, a certain business. That's who you're trying to target. Forget why doesn't it have a lot of views? No. It's about the type of content and the market you're looking for. Besides sitting on the podcast, no DJ Spoo or PENUEL the Black Pen, you take that video, you and your people, and you take small clips. That 1 hour video kicks out 20 mini ads that at different times on LinkedIn, on Instagram, you're pumping. for that, whatever fee you paid me for my production costs for that video. So that's something we need to do. And I guess maybe this is also me pitching that if you guys would like Sbu, myself, or us to come to your business, we've done it a few times. It's something we can keep going. You want us to come and shoot a podcast at your business where we're chatting and maybe we bring you in to come chat as well. Hit us up, but you must cover the production cost. Because if we do it for free, number one, people are going to ask, which business do you guys pick? And it becomes a problem. Number two, we have to cover costs, which we then have to catch up with other things. You're making money, but you're not sharing it. Let's share the money so we can pay crew. Let's share the money so we can do more. And now you're just saying thank you because we're bringing business and we've created an ad for you. With a small budget, this is now an ad for you. We're also saying, come support what? Forever. So I really think we need to innovate, especially those of us who are podcasting or creating content in that space. There are so many other ideas. I want to say two more. I'm gonna give a shout out to these two guys.
Okay.
Talipani Banks and Spaza Eats. They're some of the guys that pay me those my 5 clippers to advertise Spaza Eats on my platforms. They're competing with Uber Eats, and they've been signing deals with so many big restaurants, of which the idea when Talipani started it was abantu abadayisa amakota, morogo, some of these businesses emakasi, they only focus on foot traffic. They haven't thought of a courier business, and even if they did, who's going to? So they were like, we're going to do that for you. We're going to scale business lakho lasekasi by bringing amajidamba ngama-scooter. So
PENUEL. Do you know that was going to be my next point? And I was going to pick up Cassidy and Swiper as I said Tembisa. It's
pick them up quickly.
It's beautiful.
I've still got my point.
Yeah, Cassidy and Swiper, as I said, Tembisa delivery services. I don't want to say they're competing with Uber, but they're doing a great job in Tembisa. What PENUEL is saying, that was going to be my point too. Like it's incredible that you just had to go to that point. Those guys are saying they don't have the online traffic. You do that on their behalf. You put them online. Then you get what I was saying earlier, an affiliate program where you get a bit of a share. Can be 5 or 10% of whatever plate they sell. If one plate is 50 Rand, if I, on the platform, I charge one plate for 65 Rand, so we pay the platform and then I get my share, why not? And then you go and get as many of the township businesses as you can to put them or link them with these Cassidy or Swiper of your own community. It doesn't have to be these ones, as I said, Tembisa. Ngenza nje example where you can then help as many abo mechanic, all those people get online traffic, and then you get a cut of that. Sorry.
No problem. So we must plug Amachita.
Sure.
Talipani Banks and Spaza Eats and the team there is doing amazing work in that regard, and they're constantly scaling and innovating because he's got an digital advertising business, Analytics X. There's him and the work that he's done. These are some of the things we need to be doing. And anyone, Ekasi, I'm just not sure how far their reach is currently. But you download Spaza Eats, and more than anything, if you have a business, Ekasi, sokudla. And I think they're moving into other things now. I know they've partnered with, I think it's Pick and Pay. I'm not sure, but some big retailer. If you've got any business, the reason it was set up was for you to be like, say, put your stuff on this platform and we'll make you more money. Last week, I had a meeting with an amazing gentleman, and I've had him on my platform, Miles Berger. Brilliant mind, IT mind. He's just got a global mind. He's one of those kids like Otalipani that if they were in America, they'd be multi-billionaires.
For me, Miles is already a billionaire. It's incredible, bro.
Miles is crazy.
It's amazing. I was with him 2 weeks ago here, actually, downstairs. We had a master class.
That's too dope.
Sure. Amazing guy.
So Miles was showing me the Wakanda village. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen it in Sandton. Anyone that knows Sandton, Nelson Mandela Square, is it close to the Michelangelo? I don't even know what those streets are in Sandton. Lagwa the old taxi rank.
Yeah.
If you know the old taxi rank, I say Gautrain station, there's something called the Wakanda village there now.
Yeah.
Where there's containers that sell food.
Yeah.
All Miles specialize in manufacturing containers that are ready. They've got kitchens inside and what. When you figure with your ingredients with dice and you put your branding there. I first met Miles because I made a video. This is now speaking exactly about everything we're doing. Ngithanda ukuzula. Makasi, Squatter Camps, bengise Joe Slovo, ngase Westbury the other day. These are the things that give me joy for some weird reason. Ngithanda ukubona abantu. Gcwale Soweto and just see what's happening in the streets. I'm in Alexandra Township. I'm driving around. I see a beautiful yellow container. Ebhale Gcwalisa. I'm like, what's this? I drive, ngihamba ngetezi yami, which I miss. I reverse. I'm like, no, let me go and see what's going on. Ngihlangana ne-old lady Mangibuza, what business is this? Old school. Nokule business uyafika nesikhaftini sakho, usiyakunikeza isikhaftini. Many people can't afford a big bag of rice, maize meal, shugela, tea bag. So what we do is, ufika uzothenga tea bag A1 or inkomishi rice or at a small price, which is what used to be done back when our parents used to have a general dealer nama Spazas shops. Uma ungenayo inyuku bayakhelela impuphu just to eat for today ngoba uhola per day. Ukhan do 50 rand wadayisa amamofa ayambalwa. So like ngidinga nje igawuli it's excess. Sikuphela sigaya impuphu hambi yogawuli.
So mhlambe ngalo 10 rand ungathola leyo mpushanyana encane, mhlambe ama slices nyana u4 5, mhlambe ama tea bag nyana amabili. Just like a nice package that's affordable.
Nice package.
Dope.
So Igcwalisa does that, but beyond that, what his thinking was, because they've been working on this project, it's got many different versions. Because Miles is that type of, he's not just as pushele business. I think he was working in one of the big global IT companies back in the day. The container doubles up as a Wi-Fi hotspot. So it plugs Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi for everyone within a certain radius. It doubles up as a power generation place because it's got solar panels at the top. It's got a payment system thing involved. And I was like, this is crazy. I tell you all later, at the time I hadn't met Miles. I'm like, can I please take a video? Sure. Phone. Puma kwithezi yami ngishaye phone. Just bumped into this business. It's called Igcwalisa. What. I put it on TikTok. It trended. Next thing, I get a DM from Miles. Thank you so much for plugging me. What. I'm like, look, let's meet up. We ended up having the chat on my platform. People send me videos. I was in a presentation. Miles was showing the video that you took of what. Now we are associates. Now he's created the Wakanda Village. He tells me that one of the entrepreneurs they have at the Wakanda Village, Daisa, this is now like Kasidi, Swiper, Talipan, and Spaza Eats. One of these businesses, Silent Ekas, I'm going to make up amounts, by the way. Ebekanda 15,000 a month. It's good money, Ekas. Good money. It's saying push business on a kind of 15 scored. Uti, this guy in his first month operating here has made 150,000. He's like, the guy didn't understand because it's also not just the container. It's also the courier business of all the businesses in Sandton. Because there's about Ernst & Young that paid my fees. There's law firms. There's Abantu Abaspana, I go Old Mutual and all those businesses there. And he's like, we're making money. I told Talipani, I told him, I'm like, have I told you about the Dabawalas? He's like, yes. And I'm like, okay, because I sent a video. I'm like, have you tried? He's like, we tried it. And he was honest to me about his issues, which I won't disclose here. It was a confidential chat. But he's like, we had to shut it down. The Dabawalas in India are these ancient business. Now we're speaking Stokvels, we're speaking Umshayina, we're speaking, I don't know what businesses, Fantuka, that people know. The Dabawalas are this Indian institution of Abantu that they send out Ikaula ngesikhaftini every day. People can go look it up on Wikipedia. They make money. Every day they are the most reliable courier service in India that take his kaftin sako, uyakaula, and then masuqeda kaula bayaza bazosicollecta food. And then they go get you food, and then the next day you get a hot biryani or whatever the case may be in that same kaftin as if it was made by your mom. And these are reliable. They walk, they use a bicycle, they work on a number system. Every kaftin has got its own number. Old school. Old school. And it's reliable. And I'm like, South Africa needs this. Right now, we've got barriers to entry. Pen, camera. Use your phone. Use WhatsApp. Now, when you're like, we don't have courier, I'm like, why is he not walking? But sting is scooter. You don't need a scooter for 2 kilometers. Intwana can walk. South Africa's got a dormant labor force. And if every kid, to what you were saying about affiliates or small monies, if every kid knew that they can jump on an app, maybe this is a plug for other people out there that are listening. If any kid can jump on any app and get in any car, it picks up a location yami. And at any given time, there's someone looking for something to be delivered. And I've registered on this app. So 12 rand only. Konukoko, that once umutu picked up, it's a kilometer away to be delivered at this posi because she's also registered. I accept, just like Uber, because I happen to be in this cars. I'm like, how do you can do 5 rand? I'm a 5 rand clamp out 3 fast. Okay, nya exerciser, nya hlana no koko, uyang rater uthi say into ani lethile yashanga smile. Ukoko mhlambe got extra money. Mfana wenzani? Hayi gogo bamba nawo munye 5 rand. I've just made 10 bucks. Ngihamba ngiyothenga amakota namachita just for that walking. And then missing ayivayela. The amount of ama-5 rand nama-10 rand. Khona lamachita lawa that manage abantu abazogibela itaxi, iQ. Q marshal of sorts. Taxi mayifika uyavula ngenani la hlalisanani ekuse awuthi yami mchita mgayi 5 tiger half tiger 5 rand. He's good. He's going to get him a 5 rand however many that day.
Ukufolela iline.
Ukufola kwi-line.
Njengalaba futhi imvula nayina mhlamba abantu abakhona ukucrossa lapha edrobheni yaphithizela it's fine ngizayuza itroli yami.
Sure.
Noma mina ngizaxova ngene ngijampise. Unginika nje i2 rand or 5 rand ngiyabuya ngigibela usomunye. All those little ideas, right?
Lamajida lawa ikubambela imthwalo mawuphuma kwibus. Mesa hamba netroli yabo baqubule. We've got these little businesses that if someone built an app. But for me, with the Dabawalas, the story is courier. We're speaking scooters, we're speaking Amapajaj, we're speaking Ubers. Some of these things need you to just walk.
We are speaking tuk-tuks, as Mr. Pulomabi.
Abo, in Atul, Kona the Atul. Tuk-tuks, there's a boy of mine who's Gnene.
Yeah.
That is in the tuk-tuk business. In Tuanafetu that are just willing to walk. Njengamanje, you and I are sitting here, mhlambe sifuna igawula. Must check in an epic Kaula Sifunayo is deep in town, 3 kilometers away. But if you go on this app, now you have options. You can get an Uber cart deliver at 30 rand, an Uber scooter at 15 rand. Koni Intwane Ikonala that can go and fetch you this thing for 5 rand. They've done 200 trips and they've got a 4-star rating. You're like, no, Intwana na you. Intwana is 5 rand. Intwana gets that 5 rand in his digital wallet. He goes to any of the retail shops. One day, hopefully, uzofika nase taxi nafika scan ifone yakhe akhokhe ngokuthi no bengizospana la no taxi driver vela taxi scanner la scan uthole nje ama 5 rand and we move. So I was like, these are some of the things we need to be doing.
My last one last week, I was at the Limo Fest. Thank you for the invite. It was incredible. Met up with some gentlemen who come to me. Thank you so much for Massive Metro. You inspired us a couple of years ago. We started Bloom Radio. We're an online platform. We don't have normal license. We're not on terrestrial. We're just online and we use social media platforms. And then we just started having an incredible conversation. They interviewed me. But behind the scenes, one of the guys just shows me, says, by the way, we're doing well on Facebook. We've got about 70,000 Facebook followers.
Jeez, that's a lot.
And then it goes to the dashboard and the back end of Facebook. It says our page is monetized. We don't make that much money, but look how much money we are at so far this month. And guess how much money that was? It was $193. How much is that?
We'll do the maths. 193 sibuza ubab Google USD to ZAR. Just under 3,400 rand.
So you guys have got pages on Facebook. You've got over 10,000 followers. You've got over 100,000 followers, but you're not monetizing it. Like, you've got over 100,000 TikTok followers. You're not monetizing your TikTok.
That's a platform. That's a mini television.
I bumped into Dr. Malinga. I'm shooting a show called Deal or No Deal in Cape Town.
Yeah.
And I walk into the green room. And then this person is live on TikTok. And as I'm walking in, I'm like, my life, but I mean, I don't mind.
Sure.
Right? Yes, boo is here. I'm like, oh, that's why you're always live on TikTok. It's like, so far. It says, by the way, yesterday, he does the same thing. Shows me the dashboard. Says, yesterday I made this much. When I calculated it in rands, was 6,900 rands in a day.
On TikTok Live.
So that's why some people are always on TikTok Live, but they don't tell you that they're making money. I know more and more people are starting to know. Good, as people give you gifts, as you're live on TikTok, you can monetize. You can make a lot of money off TikTok. Monetize your Facebook. Monetize your YouTube. Monetize. Create merch. Podcast from wherever you are. Take out phones. You don't have to buy fancy cameras. Monetize your Twitter. Chris Excel and all these other guys, they monetize their Twitter. They're making money off Twitter. So for some of you probably did not know this. You can get paid out of your social media platforms. Just monetize them and you can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Not a lot. You can start gangani. But as you grow and as your following just keeps on growing, you can make more money just by monetizing your social media platforms.
The biggest money I've made from one donor on, I think it might have been 1,000 rand. They sent it in a foreign currency. On YouTube Live, there's something called Super Thanks for people that don't know.
Yeah.
Literally, whatever topic I was talking about, it touched their heart. They were like, no, I want to contribute. on the spot, 1,000 rand. That's real money
Yeah.
that you cash out and you go and use.
One of the days I threw in $100 to Abo McG,
Yeah.
podcast and chill. I think it was a
That's a lot
Julius
of money.
Malema episode. Yeah, I was so blown away.
Sure.
I was so blown away with McG's question. I'm a chiller, right?
Sure.
But that day I so happened to have a bit of money. So I threw in super thanks also.
Sure.
For those who don't know, on YouTube, as you go live, or even if it's a pre-recorded video, when you premiere it and it plays as if it's live,
Sure.
people can throw money from all over the world. I threw in, and as I threw in, I also was seeing other people throw in.
Sure.
By the way, Abo McG, they make a lot of money from the chiller, just throwing in Abuma super thanks. Another way you can get money from the subscribers who can each pay you 10 rand a month.
It's one of the things I really want to focus on.
Yeah, apart from the monetization. So there's all these different little ways of making money
Sure.
that need you to just step outside of your comfort zone, breathe in, breathe out for some time, and come up with a strategy and a way in which you're going to implement that is not so far off from what you are already doing in your content creation on a daily basis. I think for now we can leave it here.
Yeah, no. Let's say thank you. I remember when MacG and Saul came to visit us, Hustlers Corner, the virtual Mkuku. At the time, they were saying that what's keeping them alive is the chillers and the paying members. It's one of the things I want to focus on. On my channel, PENUELism, I've got 155 paying members. Not much. I'm at 10 randi, which I won't make you now. A lot of it is just I'm at 10 randi. But once you get to a point where you have 100 people, 100 stable people, 100 true fans is what it's called, giving you 100 rand a month each, that's 10,000. You can do a lot with that. And you just focus on making sure that you provide at least for them and then for the rest of the audience. Too many of us are chasing big views. And sometimes all you need is 20 committed donors who
captive
give
community.
you 500 and you're good to go.
I agree.
So, yeah.
With that being said, let me also mention and thank my own subscribers every month. You guys keep us alive. You've been keeping us alive all the time. I appreciate you guys. We've got, I think, 90-something now. They dropped. And you've just reminded me. But I want to acknowledge you guys that give us money every month. We are who we are as the Hustlers Corner. We are who we are as the Hustlers Corner because of you guys. You give us money every month. You have subscribed. And it's the same. We encourage you to do the same with Abo Scheme GP, Abo, or Annual Leisure is the overseas one. There's a local one. I forgot what the name of that podcast is. But yeah, whatever interesting podcast that you like, give them super thanks, subscribe to them. Remunerate these guys for creating dope content, because a lot of us don't make money out of these things. Okay, some of us have been working for quite some time, but the youngsters that are creating dope content on these podcasts, I subscribe and I give them money every month, just like I give the podcast and chill money every month. So thank you very much, guys. There's different ways on how we can make money. Let's think. Let there not be even a box where we have to even end up thinking outside of the box. But let's just be a different breed in terms of thinking about how to make money, because we can see this is a crisis. The unemployment rate is not coming down. It just keeps on getting up and up and up and up and up. So, but it's a beautiful thing that the entrepreneurship rhetoric in the country just keeps on growing. But digitally, there's a lot of money to be made, but also it doesn't need far-fetched ideas, creative, amazing, as you were saying, or even lots of big monies. It just needs those simple ideas and what you're already doing, just to tweak it a bit and start making money.
My parting shot is, guys, please drop me DMs. I respond quick on Twitter and Instagram mostly. If you want to plug your business, we'll speak. No more 10 rand, no more 20 rand, no more 50 rand. There's something we can do for you. I think because we're in the content creation space, I've had to accept that we're in the business of selling ad space, even though I kind of hate it. But outside of subscription, which is difficult, getting paying members to send money every month, we're also in the ad space, and we can build Spazas shop media companies and marketing companies where if I have 20 businesses in a month that have this much money, 20 businesses that each have 5,000 rand to spend, it's not just about my platforms. I know all these other podcasters, Osbu and other people, that can also shout out your business just because you came to my DMs. And that's how we're going to build the Ogilvies and the Jupiters and the what-whats of the future, by using these small platforms that we have. Okay, I don't like Kupen, but let me say, Ntwana, I'd like to advertise my business, but I don't like you. I want to advertise it with Spuda. Well, I'm like, sure, I can make that happen. I know Spuda's going to give me a little bit of commission, so we're good to go. And in that way, we all start advertising and marketing each other, and we make each other big. And when you don't understand why this one brand is on so many podcasts, it's because we're kind of making it happen in the back end. But it's on you and your small little business to do that. On the Jobless podcast, one of the other things we want to need to do outside of small businesses is also getting people with small skills to come and just plug the skill that they have. Plumbing, electrician in this space, so that you can get smaller nyana jobs to a point where you maybe end up getting a big job somewhere. And then we're going to force you to come back or to send a short video. Thanks to the platform, I say this much, I've just been hired here. A platform Spana. I'm going to donate to 50 rand just to say thanks.
That's so dope, man. I did an interview nomunyusisi wase Witbank. Uhlala naseThembisa uthengisa inyama not nyama enhloko amathambo. She calls it meaty bones.
Yeah.
And she delivers around Gauteng. And 5 kilograms, 10 kilograms, 15 and 20 kilograms all around. I did a very short interview. I'm actually going to put a link of the description. Put a link of that interview in the description. Was it Tembisa and I said Witbank. I interviewed her. Short interview. She got back to me a few weeks later, Zongbonga. Just that little interview on my YouTube. Didn't have a lot of views, exactly what you were saying. But geez, man, because I also took the clip and I put it up on my TikTok. And I think it had over 100,000 views or something. She was just telling me of how busy she's been ever since she's been on the podcast. So these things do work, you know. So do try them, guys. And thank you very much, Mr. Pen. I missed you.
Thanks,
I missed us creating this type of magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we shouldn't have abandoned people for that long.
We'll see you guys again soon, man.